Have you ever thought how you are able to see so many objects lying around you? How you are able to watch my video? How you are able to see that subscribe button under the video? If you have never thought this, today we are going to discuss the reason why we are able to watch the videos or watch other objects. Hello everyone, this is Ratika Roy Bhattacharya. I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Study Together with Ratika. Today we are going to start a new series, that is Light chapter of class 8. In our NCERT books, this chapter is numbered as chapter number 16. First of all, we will discuss how we are able to see the objects. For example, this pen is there, or stylus you can say. The natural light that is falling on it, the light gets reflected and reach our eyes. If we are viewing this object, then the light ray will be reaching our eyes, and inside our eyes we have one aperture that is known as retina, where an image is formed. Let's say we have this candle, right? The natural light that falls on it, it gets reflected, and when we view this candle, this reflected ray reaches our eye, right? And after reaching our eye, one phenomenon, that is refraction, takes place, because of which an image is formed inside the retina. If the image is forming on retina, then we are able to see, and if the image is formed on blind spot, then we will not be able to see an object. So let's see. So in order an image is formed, two phenomena are seen. The first one is reflection, second one is refraction. The basic difference between them is, in reflection, the light rays gets reflected, or you can say bouncing back of light takes place, whereas in refraction process the bending of light takes place, means the bouncing back does not take place. Let's see this with the help of a diagram. Here this diagram shows reflection. This is a plane surface, that is a plane mirror. This line, this ray shows incident ray, and this ray which is going towards the another direction, that is the reflected ray. Now you see this incident ray is reflecting, it is bouncing back. That is why this process or this phenomenon is known as reflection. Whereas in refraction, you see this is a plane surface or a plane mirror. When this ray, this incident ray falls on it, instead of going towards this direction, it goes into the surface. Always remember that refraction takes place because of a transparent object, but not the opaque objects, right? This dotted line shows the actual path of this ray. This should go straight, but it doesn't go like that. It bends towards this normal and away from the normal. That totally depends on the density of the media. This one and this one, both of the media are different, and because of that only refraction takes place. Now let's see what are the laws of reflection. Theoretically, if we talk about, then two laws are there. The first one is incident ray, reflected ray and the normal. All of them lie in same plane. Let's see this with the help of this activity type, you can say. Here this one shows incident ray and this one shows reflected ray, and in between them there will be a normal line that will be perpendicular. Now that normal line comes here only, but not here, because this is a 2D structure that we can form, or you can make this on a chart or on a paper. And the second law says that the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Now what are these angles? Let's see this with the help of a diagram again. This is a plane surface or plane mirror, you can say. This ray is incident ray, which is actually falling on the mirror. After it gets reflected, it becomes reflected ray. This normal is present. Now three of these rays are lying in same plane, which is stated by the first law of motion. The second law says that this angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Now what is angle of incidence? This incident ray makes an angle with normal. That angle between the normal and the incident ray is known as angle of incidence, right? And in the same way, this normal and reflected ray makes an angle between them, which is known as angle of reflection, and both of these angles are equal to each other. This is law of reflection. Let's see next what are the regular and diffused reflections. On the basis of the type of surface that we take, two types of reflections are seen. The first one is regular, second one is irregular, or you can say diffused. You see, green colored rays are incident ray, and these red colored rays are a reflected ray. All the incident rays are parallel to each other. That is why, because this is a regular reflection, all the reflected rays are also parallel to each other. Whereas in this one, a rough surface has been taken on which parallel beam of light, that is incident light, is falling, but it is not at all necessary that the reflected rays are parallel to each other. They are diffusing to any direction. That is why this type of reflection is known as diffused or irregular reflection. Then the next is, what type of image is formed in a plane mirror? We know that we have two types of normal mirror, plane mirror and spherical mirror, that you must have read in 7th standard. Then spherical mirrors are of two types, concave and convex. Now plane mirror is that mirror in which is very straight, which is plain, and one side is polished, right? Here this one is mirror which is polished from one end. This is an object which is making a particular distance with the mirror. When you see your face inside the mirror, you see that the image is formed inside the mirror but not outside the mirror. That type of image is known as virtual image. When the image is formed inside the mirror and you cannot obtain it on the screen, that type of image is known as virtual image. Whereas if you get the image on the screen, that type of image is known as real image. But in this case, in plane mirror, we get a virtual image. Next point is, the distance between the object and the mirror is always equal to the distance between mirror and the image, right? So the image is formed at same distance as that of object. Then the next point is, the size of the image, as we are able to see here, is exactly same as that of object. So neither the image is diminished nor it is magnified. Then the last one is, you must have always noticed that if you raise your right hand, you will be able to see your left hand raising out in the mirror. This is known as lateral inversion. You must also have seen in ambulance, right? So that is the best example for the lateral inversion, right? So if you summarize the characteristics of the image formed in a plane mirror, the first point is that the image is always virtual. Second point, the image is at same distance. Third point, the image is neither magnified nor diminished, it is of same size. And the fourth one is, the image is laterally inverted, right? In our plane mirror, we get just only a single image because one mirror is there and we are also one. So that is why a single reflection is taking place, that's why single image is formed. Now if multiple reflections take place, multiple images will be formed. Now how this is possible that multiple reflections taking place? You see this mirror and this mirror, two mirrors I have shown here in the diagram. Both of them are making a particular angle between them. So you see multiple reflections are taking place, because of which multiple images are formed. Now if anyone asks you that calculate the number of images formed when two mirrors are placed at a particular angle, you might think how you will be able to find out that. But we have a formula to calculate that. Number of image equals to 360 degree upon angle between the mirrors minus 1. Let's see one example. For example, two mirrors are kept at an angle of 90 degree. So the angle being formed between them is 90 degree. How the number of image will be formed? 360 upon 90 minus 1. 94 is 360, 4 minus 1, this is 3. So 3 images will be formed. This calculation is so simple that you can orally find out the number of images formed. Let's see one more example. Now two mirrors are kept at an angle of 45 degree. The same thing we will do. 360 upon 45 minus 1. 45, 8 is 360. So 8 minus 1 becomes 7. Right? You have a question. You can write down in the comment section how many images will be formed if two mirrors are placed at an angle of 60 degree. And I am very much sure that you will be able to answer this question. Please write down in the comment section. Till then, I am going to make another video for you in which I will be discussing about refraction, human eye, and few other interesting things. Thanks for watching and do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.